Wicked Witches! We've just had the Aries dark moon ceremony, and we used this opportunity to crown ourselves. This is my crown, in our sovereignty, and we anointed ourselves and connected in with the humility of being a leader and being a sovereign, how we're all sovereigns, we're all one, we're all the same thing, we're the universe experiencing itself, and that we are here to be of service. So sovereignty is servanty. So how can we be of service? But in our throne of power, in our seat of power. And here you go. So this is the Emperor. The Emperor is sat in his throne in his seat of power, and he's comfortable and he's at peace because he is who he is, but also with ease, with being nothing. He's not anything special. We're all emperors, we're all one, but we are in this life, in this form, with our inner world that we're the guardian and gatekeeper to, and that's who we are. That's what we are. We're nothing and we're everything, and our everything is with the flavour of this current form, and we can sit in that space and share our inner world as our dominion, our domain, and in that domain we are the emperor. We are the emperor of our inner world, and that's what we're bringing to the party, and that's our archetype, and that's what we're sharing in this play that is the universal play. And so we crowned ourselves and anointed ourselves as the sovereigns of our inner world. Boy, God, there's a lot going on in the astrology, and it's reflecting in the world and world events and everything that's going on. So hold your course, do lots of meditation, really keep meditating and tuning in and grounding, and know that it's all to play for, and that we can create anything, and that we are sovereigns. And so our words speak the world into being. It's spells. Create or be created. We spell our reality into being. So from your seat of power, from your throne, what are you going to create? And it really can be anything, because someone sat in their throne of power and created laws and rules and politics that we all abide by and go along with, and they're all made up. So we can make up anything we want. And yeah, okay, it's got to go in the mix with everybody else, and it's got to go in this game, but this game is not fixed, and the rules have changed, and the laws have changed, and the politics have changed, and there have been many realities. This reality is not fixed, so it's all to play for, and the only way you can come up with something different, come up with new ideas, is to start creating and believing that anything is possible. So I'm going to do a reading. First of all, the readings. We have a lot going on. Neptune is going to be moving into Aries in 2 days' time, and that means, like, Neptune is kind of expect the unexpected, and yeah, we've just had Neptune in Pisces for 16 odd years, and that's been very sort of self-reflective in a way, and we've like explored neurodivergence, and we've explored mental health a lot, and spirituality has grown and developed, and now it's moving into Aries, and it is quite volatile. That is volatile. It's very revolutionary, as is Aquarius and Pluto. So there's a lot of which you can see in the world, and so we do need to stay grounded and know that it's all to play for, and that it doesn't have to be violent, that we can furiously, ferociously and powerfully love and be kind and compassionate, but we need to put our oar in. We need to put our hat in the game, like, otherwise we don't count, you know. So we do need to create or be created, and it's more that now than ever. Oh my God, I hadn't looked at the rune. It's my rune, Ing. And this is literally that. So this is the little spark that created you. right? You are a little spark that came into this life at this moment in time, in this moment in history, to share what you've got with the world and to be a player. So this was you chucking your hat in the ring and choosing to be here in this world at this point in time. So you're bringing your spark to the mix. What are you going to do with it? Let's explore that. So physically, in the physical world, we have radar, which is rado, which is the cartwheel. It's the wheel of fortune. It's this too shall pass, that the wheels turn, the seasons change, the governments change, the sovereigns change, the stories change, the laws change. Nothing's fixed. This too shall pass. Everything is moving. It spirals within spirals, cycles within cycles. The physical world is not fixed. And in our communication is Heglaz. So this is hail. So Heglaz is the tower, like the tower card. And we do need to completely tear down the narrative. The narrative has been written for us. The grand narrative has been falling apart since postmodernism. So we had the narrative, which was these guys are in charge and you are stuck in this place and you were born into this place and you kind of deserve to be there, and you believe in God and you work hard and this is what you do. And then because of the First and Second World War, that all fell apart and people went, not going to just go die because you tell me to, and I don't believe in this anymore, and I don't believe in God anymore, and I don't believe in that anymore, and it all fell apart. And then it was kind of like, well, then anything's possible, and it was the death of history and all of these things happen. And now we can't even trust anything anymore with AI and with fake news. If no narratives can be trusted, this is the only thing that we can trust. And so don't be don't get delusioned, don't disappear up your own arse, don't believe, be curious, always have the question mark as your crucifix and know that you know nothing. Be at ease with being nothing, and look at the outer world and everyone around you as a sign language for your inner world, and how they're behaving towards you and treating you is a sign language to your inner world. And know that what you say and what you speak affects that outer world. That's your inner world affecting the outer world. They're all one. You and even the people, even your enemies, even the people who annoy you, are all one. And you are basically one thing having a multifaceted experience all at the same time. And so what you speak and what you say affects the game. It affects the play. And so your words are so important. We can tear this narrative apart now. We can tear down the story that's in front of us, and we can create whatever we want. So it is the Tower card. It's the death of ego. It's the death of believing our place in the scheme of things and the story that's been presented. And to go, it's all to play for. We're burning it all to the ground, and now we can do whatever we want and say whatever we want, and that we can create anything. And it doesn't have to be through violence. It can be just through this. As above, so below. And this is with our passions. So that's what I was just saying. The inner world and the outer world are one. And what does your inner world look like? Well, what does my inner world look like? It looks like this. It looks like this. I let my inner and outer world flow. And that's why I dress the way I do. That's why my surroundings look the way they do. It's why my artwork is the way it is. It all has the flavour of me, and that's my inner world. And because I let it flows into my outer world, and my outer world is an expression of my inner world. And we stopped doing that. It used to be that that's how everyone lived their lives. That's an indigenous way of living. That's a traditional way of living, was that everything was an act of worship and everything was sacred, and that we were connected to the earth and Mother Nature and the cycles, and we were part of it, and it was all one, and our inner and outer worlds were one. And then we, over time, just sectioned that off and went, nah, we're only doing outer. All of the inner world is like child stuff. It's not of any value or importance. And we've done amazing things with just the outer world and the intellect and the thinking, but we also have kind of made a mess and are not actually very healthily happy mentally or physically. The world's not physically happy. Something needs to shift. We want to shift. And for us to shift, we need to invite back in that inner world. We've got to invite back out the inner world, invite it out to play and let it all flow again and make our lives sacred, and make our lives an act of worship and for it all to flow. So inner and outer, and then the spiritual world is Laguz, the water. It's deep, and it's our twisted twin. It's the reflection. It's our other us, and that's within the face of everyone we meet, and it's within our dreams, and it's our imagination, but it's our shadow. It's the things we don't want to admit about ourselves. It's all of it. It's inviting all of it, and it's as deep as the ocean and as infinite as the ocean. We're all drops in the sea, and it's just vast. It's vast, and we have all these unimaginable, incredible depths to us, and to let it all flow and just be immersed in this inner worldness, and for it to flow throughout our lives. I'll pull some cards to I'll do all three. So we have the Lovers, and the Lovers is the what's it called? The universal marriage, I think it's called. So it's the universal marriage. So this is the marriage of the twin. So it's our inner and outer. And you see here he makes a circle. So this is like the Fool. The Fool is the 0. It's the top of the tarot deck. And that's because we're not split. So we see ourselves as split. And this is what I mean about us and anyone else. We see ourselves as split, but we're not. We're all one. And when you realise that, then everything is love. And we are within ourselves. When we stop splitting and ignoring parts of ourselves, and we go, oh no, this is all part of us, and it's all one, and it's all valid, and it's all meant to be here. That's when we meet love, and that's when we connect with the love of ourselves, of each other, this whole thing, this whole cosmic play. And that there is no split. And if we see the split, we feel defeat. And that's what a split is. The split is defeat. And we can feel separated, and it just feels horrible. And it feels like we have no power, and it feels like we can't get anywhere, and it feels like we can't change anything, and that we're just, at the suffering and the whim of whatever gets thrown at us. We feel defeated. But when we realise that we're not split, and we realise that we are all one, and that we are creating this together, then that's when we are abundant and flowing. And this here is the Prince of Swords, and the Prince of Swords is cutting through all that noise, the fake news, the AI, all of the stuff that is just bombarding us. He's cutting through it all and just clearing the way and clearing that space. So clearing it all for that love to be there, for the love and the connection and that flow to flow between us. So I'll pull some goddess cards as little nudges and winks from the universe. So we have here a little wink from the goddess. Courage. And I do feel like we need courage at the moment. We need to be brave, our biggest, brightest, bravest selves. We need to be brave about standing up for what we believe in, speaking and saying the things that we believe in, that we care about. We need to be brave about sitting in our throne of power and letting it all out and flowing. And we just need to be brave. We need to go for it. We need to have the courage to believe that we can create the world that we want, and to fearlessly step into the future that is unknown, and know that it's all to play for, and that we can make this happen. No, kitty. No, gorgeous. wise one. Let me read this one out. I've not seen that card before. It's a cool card. So what does the wise one say to us? There's a hunger, a wanting, waiting to be satiated, a longing and a yearning for a returning to the oracular, I don't know how you say it, and wise, like the oracle, and wise, wild and powerful, that's instinctual and felt through your body, your animal body, a need, a requirement for each of us to realise and recognise that wildness is not the danger zone we've been led to believe. I know, right? Shocking. It's a return to source. It's direct and real. It's reconnection at source, to source, as life force. An open invitation to follow goodness, which isn't to be confused with good. That's a construct. Goodness, nourishment, fecundity, fullness. The affirmation is, I am wise, wild and powerful. And that is what I feel. It's trusting that we can do this. It's trusting our inner wisdom and our intuition and letting it flow and being the sovereign and being our crowned sovereigns, sitting in our throne of power comfortably at ease and being connected. So let's pull the goddess card for giving us a deity as an inspiration. Heroine, reaction. Heroine. She's a good one. I like her. Reaction. So let's see what she's got to say. The Welsh enchantress Cerwyn is the goddess of magic and transformation within the Celtic mythology. Although she only appears in a small number of tales in comparison to the other Celtic deities, Cerwyn's impact is widely recognised throughout her mastery of Awen, or poetic inspiration. In the Tale of Taliesin, charting the legendary origins of the bard Taliesin, she tasks a young boy with stirring her cauldron for a year and a day to brew a special potion for her son. As the concoction nears completion, 3 drops spill upon the boy, imbibing him with the gift of Awen meant for her son, and he runs away while Cerwyn sleeps. Upon waking, Cerwyn gives chase, shifting shape repeatedly in order to seek justice for the theft. The shape-shifting goddess Cerwyn summons forth the essence of reaction. We are faced with challenges on a daily basis, and it falls on us to approach these adversaries with an appropriate response. Our emotions can be distorted depending on the situation, just as water reacts to temperature by changing its composition, and we generally respond with what we perceive reality to be. Cerwyn asks that you step away and find balance to achieve more clarity. Have you found yourself recently too quick to anger or upset? Your capacity for emotion is a beautiful thing, so give it the time it deserves to recharge and allow reaction to become your ally. And this, I think, is absolutely key. So that is spot on. We can't just there's so much Aries energy, and Neptune's about to go into Aries, and we've just gone through this process of learning from the Aries stuff that's been happening. We've had Mars retrograde in Aries, and that had Trump and Elon Musk and all the stuff that they've done with fascism and all the stuff that's been going on. And then we have the Venus going retrograde with Mercury, that are like reacting, joining, mobilizing the protests and the things that have happened in reaction to go, no, fuck off. And then the eclipse that's just happened is in Aries, and then that's now shifting, and that's the end of the eclipses being in that. So that's the close of a chapter, but then Neptune's coming into Aries. So that's the opening of a new chapter. So we are learning these lessons. What have we learned? So what's the positive part of Aries? Well, the positive part of Aries is the sovereignty of being, but sovereignty is servanty. So how to be of service, how to sit in your throne of power and be of service, how to be your biggest, brightest, bravest self and encourage that in others, how to fan the flames of power and passion and the little spark that everyone has, how to flame that and support it to grow and be a big fire and be the emperor of your dominion. Everyone to be that, and for us to support that, and for us to support each other, and not react and not be angry and not be toxic masculinity and not be explosive, but be the positive, like driven side of it instead. That is for us to sit in, and the lovers and love is the place to be coming from, where we don't see ourselves as split, we see ourselves as all one, and we connect with each other from that place, and we connect with ourselves from that place, and give ourselves love and know that we are all of our parts and that they're all valid. So go forth, be loving, be kind, be compassionate, be passionate, and be extraordinary. You got this. Big love. See you in all.